So we're talking about here valuation of inventory using relative sales value. Why would we want to do this? Well, if a company buys 10 identical delivery trucks for a certain lump sum price, there's really no problem. You take the lump sum price, you divide it by 10, you're done. But there's a lot of lump sum purchases where a company may be buying a certain amount of, various different things that they all come in a lump sum, and somehow you have to attach a value to each type of, type of inventory that you've purchased. So the example that I use is, and you tend to think of inventory as things you run into at Target, but for a real estate developer, the inventory would be the lots that they're planning to sell to people or to build houses on. And so a company buys a large parcel of land for $300,000, and all the lots are not the same. They've got a few lakefront lots that are very desirable, and they can probably sell them for a lot more higher price. They've got the busy street lots, well, nobody wants those. And then you've got just sort of regular lots. So the estimated selling price for each type of lot, you might get $100,000 for the lake, $60,000 for the busy street, and $80,000 for the regular. And so what we want to do is we need to eventually arrive at a per lot cost for each type of lot, so that when we sell that lot, we can say, yeah, we sold it for this, our cost of goods sold was such and such, and so our gross profit we can determine. So how are we going to do that? We use the relative sales value. So how do we set this up? I like to set it up like this. I think Wiley sets it up a little different, but I basically set it up. We could have 3 different lots. Here's the estimated selling price per lot of $100 for the lake, $60 for the street, and $80 for the regular. We've got 2 of these, 3 of those, and 5 of those. So the total estimated selling price for each type of lot, we've got 2 times 100 would be $200 for the lake, 3 times 60 for the busy street, and 5 times 800 for the $80,000 for the regular. So our total estimated selling price for all our various lots is $780. So we basically come up with what percentage is each type of lot of that price. So 200 780s, 180 780s, okay, 400 780s, and then when you divide it out, it comes out to these various percentages. Okay, so now, what's the next step? So we're going to apply that percentage to the cost of the land. Okay, so we paid, the parcel of land cost $300,000 altogether. Lakefront lots are 0.2564 of that, so that would be the amount allocated to all your lake lots. Now the per lot cost, you take this amount, divide it by the number of lots, and you've got your per lot cost. That way when you sell those lots, you can say our selling price, there's our per lot cost, and you get your gross profit on it. The busy street lots, this was the percentage times the $300,000. So you got this amount assigned to the busy street lots, divided by 3 per lot, and so forth with the regular lots. So the main thing with these is to just keep organized and not lose sight of what you're doing. All right, so then we move on, and when they tell you how many lots have been sold of each type, so say we sold 1 lakefront lot, we know that the selling price, say it ends up at $100,000, so the total sales would be $100. The cost of the lot sold, well, you go back up to the other, and where you have our per lot cost, and so our gross profit's the 100 minus this, gives you that. We sold 2 busy street lots at 60 each, so that's total sales. And this would be our per lot cost up here of $23,077 times the 2 lots that we sold, okay? And so you can come up with your gross profit using the, the relative sales value of each item. So these are not difficult, it's just a matter of not getting lost in the problem.